Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So a lot of folks wanted me to talk about the whole Roland Martin going on the Wendy Williams show. Happened yesterday. So what's interesting about this entire situation? You guys know I did the video about Wendy Williams talking shit about the NAACP and the HBCUs. She was analyzing Jesse Williams' video. And then she just went on this whole tirade about HBCUs and, what if there was a white NAACP and why don't we have any historically white colleges and universities? Just saying a bunch of BS. And I called her out, and the video got a lot of hits. A lot of people really agreed with my sentiments. And, the whole situation was insane. After her video went viral, one of the big media corporations, one of the CEOs of Ace Media Corp, her name is Andrea Holmes Tompkins. She basically was responsible for orchestrating a Chevrolet partnership with Wendy Williams in her show. And that partnership was worth millions of dollars. After she found out what Wendy Williams said about HBCUs, she pulled that partnership. So Chevrolet backed out. They stopped sponsoring her. And Wendy Williams lost a lot of money. They were saying that she was very upset. She was crying and all types of stuff. But at that point in time, she had refused to apologize. And then she reached out to Roland Martin. And she asked him to come on her show to basically, school her on everything, that she said wrong. And Roland Martin agreed. So this has been hyped up all week, but they never stated what day Roland Martin would be there. So it's almost like folks were watching her show every night since Monday until finally he was on. Because they never said he'll be here Thursday at 10 o'clock tonight Eastern. None of that. Nobody knew. I refused to watch her show until I saw the Roland Martin interview online, okay? Not saying that she didn't get any monetization for me watching online, but I refused to give her ratings at this point in time. So anyhow, Roland Martin went onto her show and he basically schooled the hell out of her, dropped a lot of knowledge, snatched her damn edges off. And a lot of people are really giving him props for doing that. A lot of people are saying, Wendy, she's big enough to face the music. Kudos to Wendy for being humble and, being honest and allowing Roland Martin to come on. With that being said, a lot of folks want to know my opinion on it. And, I watched the interview and I enjoyed Roland Martin and everything he had to say. But I also see through the bullshit, okay? If Wendy Williams had not received as much backlash as she received over her comments, if her money was not affected by Chevrolet dropping her and saying that they would not be sponsoring her show, Wendy Williams would have went on with business as usual, okay? This is a so-called tough-skinned diva. She can dish anything she puts out there. She doesn't care what folks have to say about her. She's going to do her, okay? How you do it? That's the Wendy Williams mantra. That's her attitude. But once her damn pockets were affected, oh, best believe she was down to do some damn damage control. Had nobody went in on Wendy, had people not complained, had people not boycotted, had Chevrolet not dropped her, it would have been business as usual. Wendy Williams would not have had Roland Martin on. The reason why she had him on is that basically she's trying to appeal back to her sponsors to show, look, I made a mistake. I didn't know. I'm naive. I dyed my hair blonde. I had a blonde moment. You guys have to forgive me, in hopes of these sponsors coming back to her. I just see through the nonsense, okay? I could maybe give her a pass if she was in her 20s. Because, in your early 20s, some things, but some things you just don't know. But this woman is 52 years old, older than Roland Martin, meaning that she was around during this time that Roland Martin was talking about how blacks were not really technically free.
If you had to place a marker on when black folks have been technically fully free Americans, it's 1970. That's only 46 years. I'm 47. So that means I was born into an America where I wasn't technically a fully free African American.
Wendy Williams is far from dumb. This woman was able to create an entire empire off of celebrity gossip and news. I would never take that from her. Wendy Williams built herself up from the ground up. She went to college. She has degrees. She's a very smart woman, a very smart businesswoman. I will always give Wendy Williams props. So I'm not buying this whole, I didn't know. I never had an idea that HBCUs, were created because of that. But yet and still, you're sitting here screaming about how your father, your uncle, your brother all went to HBCUs. You're talking about how your brother and your father are all part of the Alpha fraternity. So she knows what she's doing, okay? What it is she thought when she made those comments, folks would laugh, they would be behind her, and it would appeal to maybe more white sponsors, but it backfired in her face. I feel like this whole situation was a way for her to pull back her sponsors back in because she was in this nightmare that kind of got out of hand and she couldn't handle it. But to me, it's a bit too late and the damage has been done. Like I said, we all make mistakes. You know what I mean? We all say things that sometimes we may later regret. But I just don't take her as being sincere or genuine. One thing I did notice was her tearing up when Roland Martin was saying, when she asked Roland Martin, what should young black men do when confronted by the police?
An officer, and sir. What do you tell them?
The first thing you tell them is your job is to get home. Now, can I breathe?
Right.
I mean, is it okay that I can breathe?
Right.
And her black side, her blackness was activated because in that moment, when Roland Martin was speaking, she was thinking of her 15-year-old son. As you guys know, I'm way younger than Wendy Williams, but my son is 15 just like her son is 15. And as a black mother, when you think about your child not coming home to you, be it via black on black violence or via the police, it does something to you internally. It will make you tear up. Y'all saw me breaking down crying like that shit. It will fuck with you. And that's where you saw that. You saw that blackness in her tearing up thinking about her son. And I think she should have had that same moment when she was speaking about Jesse Williams, because Jesse Williams was speaking about people like her son. And for her to basically dismiss everything Jesse Williams was saying, just so she could disrespect HBCUs and the NAACP, she should be embarrassed. She should be very embarrassed. And then her little story at the end where she's talking about how, everybody doesn't know that she's Wendy Williams and, they thought that she was a shoplifter in the cosmetics aisle. Girl, bye. That story just sounded fictitious and made up. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but why are you bringing that up now? How funny that it happened this weekend and you decide to speak on it the day that Roland Martin is on your show. Why didn't you speak on it Monday? If it happened this weekend, why not talk about it Monday? Why wait until you have Roland Martin on the show? So that little part was just, it was just silly at the end of the day. And then also for her to say, I apologize to anyone that I may have offended. Ma'am, you need to have several seats. You offended people. And when you apologize wholeheartedly. You don't say to the folks that I may have offended. You offended people. Just apologize. I don't like roundabout apologies or, unheartfelt apologies. I just felt like she was being a bit extra. All the, yup. Like she was way too extra. Her eyes were all extra big and popping out her head. Like, just, ma'am, calm down. We're not in church. So my personal opinion, Wendy Williams needs to start acting her age. You know what I'm saying? She needs to stop acting like a ditzy, dumb 20-something-year-old blonde who had no idea, why historically black colleges were important, because it's just silly. You can have a show, you can have a white audience, but you can still be proud to be black. I have white people who fuck with me all day, every day on YouTube, but they know damn well TT stands behind Black Lives Mattering and TT is black first, okay? And I don't make no apologies for that. I make no apologies for being proud to be black. And I feel like too many celebrities, especially black celebrities, get up here and they feel like they need to apologize for their blackness. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of HBCUs. Be proud of how far black people have come. There's no reason to diminish that or dismiss that. So that's the part that kind of upset me with Wendy Williams, when she was talking all that nonsense. And like I said, it wasn't just the HBCU comment, because you guys saw my flashbacks where I was showing how she constantly goes in on her own people, but then handles other people with kitten gloves. I also want to point out how at the end, she says, thank you for schooling me and maybe some of my audience who didn't know. No, bitch. Your audience knew, hence why nobody clapped when you made those stupid ass comments. Don't drag them into your BS, okay? You should be thanking that man for schooling you if you supposedly didn't really know, okay? Don't drag your audience into it. you know. But Roland Martin, he did a fantastic job. I'm glad that he came out there and spoke, and he was being unapologetic. You know, I'm glad that he was honest. You know, so I definitely agree with everything that he told Wendy Williams. But again, like I said, I can't take her seriously. I feel like she only did this because she lost money. When people lose money, when you hit folks in their pocket, honey, they will change a whole new tune. That's why I always say black folks need to figure out this whole group economics thing and figure out how to come together. All this bickering back and forth on social media and calling folks a coon and bedwenches and, you know, going off on Facebook and all that stuff, that's not doing anything to better the situation. Until black folks can come together and realize that money equals power, we'll always be at the bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? Hence why she's changing her tune, because her pockets were hit. Had her pockets not been hit, it would have been business as usual, and she would have went right on to the next topic. How you doing? So anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire interview with Roland Martin and Wendy Williams. What do you guys think about the interview? Did you find her to be sincere in her apology? Did you find her to be sincere in the entire situation? Or do you feel like she's only apologizing and bringing Roland Martin on her show because she wants to get her sponsorships back and she wants to look better in, you know, black folks' eyes? So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.